Okay? Then, now Sanjay will give us his second part of his talk, Essential Solutions for TYPO3 Productivity. Yeah, just give in a round of applause for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexander. Thanks for welcoming to part 2. I'm not sure who was there in the part 1, but yeah, it's different. So no worries, it's not connected. Okay. So in part 2, for the essential solutions for TYPO3 productivity, I'm going to cover these topics. First is the compatibility check for the servers. Some of the cool TYPO3 extension. And going to take the code review of different things like PHP, TYPO3, YML, and many other things. But it will be how to make the automatic code review. That's a topic. The last point it could be TYPO3 extension maintenance, like how to create, publish and maintain your TER extension as well as private extension. So about me, I'm Sanjay from India, called NITSAN Agency. I'm the content a part of the content team of the association, the part of member of TYPO3 org team. Member of Dashboard Initiative. Yeah, we have a small but yes, good user group in India. We're trying to spread it. And apart from TYPO3, I'm loving with traveling, reading, and cricket. I don't know if people know it. About NITSAN, it's a TYPO3 agency since 2011. We are the silver member of TYPO3 Association. Handling the user group and the member of community and TYPO3 Agency solution partner. And yeah, we fortunately got the award last year in the conference, and we have the certified resources. So let's start from the server compatibility. It's very small solutions, but very useful in day-to-day life. Like for example, you have the projects, and your customer says, "Okay, this is a server. Check it. Is it? It will be work well with the TYPO3 or not, right?" So we have made a very small script with the feature like you don't need to check the manually, server like compatibility of the PHP and other stuff, right? Don't need to find out each and everything techie information. Check the TYPO3 versions. You can also check the database connection, is this good or not, right? And also check the email services, if the mail is working well or not on the server. And yeah, the phpinfo is there. So this is the small toy program. You just need to select the TYPO3 version, and yeah, you will get this information. Like, okay, the server have this, for example, you have selected TYPO3 version 9, right? Then it will give the report, okay, the server have the 7.0, but yeah, you need a 7.2 for the TYPO3 9. So yeah, it's quick, handy to check out quickly the server details, right? In the same way, MySQL and other details are there. Second is very easy to check the connection instead of directly trying to install. You just first come here to, okay, the database is okay or not, right? You can also check the email service by writing your email, and it will give the test email. Okay, we also the simple phpinfo also. So how to do that? Just take the clone this from the GitHub. There is one file, TYPO3 check configuration.php. So set up it. Just get the report as like in screens seen. Fix the problem and retest. If everything is worked well, then go to the development, deployment, and all the stuff. Okay, next, a useful TR extension. In our agency, we have one mindset that try to contribute as much as possible to the community. So But of course, as a developer, we have no spare time. So whenever there are extensions, custom solutions, working with the TYPO3 projects, like the customer project, so we are trying to get it as an extension and publish it to TR, right? So you can see the figures, like how we are contributing to TR, like around 20 extension has been published and maintaining. 150 tickets are solved. Like many people give the feedback, we need this bug fixing or some maintaining part, like upgrading support to the next version, right? Chai 500. Chai means tea. In India, no coffee, only chai. So yeah, people love that. And we have spent more than 1,500, and the good thing is that it's working. 20,000 plus downloaded in this 20 extension. So that's a good feedback from the community. Yeah. So first, I want to just show you some random extension. Maybe you can check later on all the extension, and hopefully it will be useful to you. This is one of the popular extension for us. That is comments for news extension, which is widely used mostly in every project, from the George or Georg, how pronounce? George Ringer? Jorg? Oh, sorry. Because, yes. So that extension is really cool, right? And we have tried to make a comment feature. Let me show you. Once you install, you can see the clean form with basic details, right? And for the listing, by the way, this works as a Ajax-based, so it's not really reloading the whole page, so it's give the better usability to the site visitor, right? So yes, you can see there is an endless possibility to have the nested reply. So it gives you like a professional way to communicate the people on your news, right? And yeah, this is the reply form. Yes, inline it shows the forms. And technically in the backend, it the comments are stored in this way. In your particular news, there is one extended tabs with all the records of particular news. So you can moderate from the backend. We also implemented the moderation, like whenever a visitor submit the form, then the administrator will get an email, and from here they can approve or reject the comment to either publish on the site or not, right? So yeah, it's cool. In the Frontend plugin, you can see a basic formation with the dates, and you want to show the captcha. Some basic configurations are there, so you can use that. One interesting thing, we have also added the FE user configuration. Like if your front-end user is already logged in, then he don't need to fill up the name and pictures and everything. It will be automatically get the profile data from the FE users, right? Okay, so where can you can download feedback and support us, right? From the Composer, from the TR, and from the GitHub. And feel free to give the, maybe features or maybe bugs. Another extension is the maintenance mode. Generally, it happens like, okay, customer says, okay, I want to go offline for a day or for minutes. So generally, we have a very simple text, okay, we are under construction, right? So instead of doing that things, we have prepared develop an extension which previews something like cool. It's much better than writing simple index.html or simple text, right? So you can see the days or your message, right? So how it works? Whenever you install this extension, you will get the custom backend module. So you can fill up the detail like title, heading, and text, and set this end date. So it will be maintaining on that way. And you can set the countdown if you want to show or not. There is an option. And we will try to give some font colors and some custom things. So it may be good, right? Download from Composer again, TR, and from the GitHub. And yeah. There is also one interesting extension that's we call it all-in-one slider plugin. Many times people said, okay, we like this plugin, this open source plugin, this jQuery or JavaScript plugin. So we decided to try, let's prepare one extension, and whatever they want, they can just choose, right? So let me show you. We have tried to include a major open source plugin like all, Nevo slider, Royal slider, Slide.js, Sleek slider, and of course, feel free to suggest if you want to add your favorite one. We will try to integrate. So here's an example, like in the backend, we have developed in the record-based whole plugin. Instead of going with the image core image element, what you need to do, just insert the record from the gallery. And once all the records are inserted, then in the front-end plugin, you will able to select the particular slider. Actually, in drop-down, you will get the all other sliders selection. So if you want, if you have same images and different view in pages, you can have an option, right? To customization, we have added the constant, like each and every slider have their own properties to handle the slider. So you can configure from here. Again, you can download from Composer, TR, and support at GitHub. I will share this slider, so you don't need to. In the same way, we have an extension called all-in-one Lightbox or Model Box, right? Which includes a major open source plugin. For example, Lightbox 2, Fancybox 2, Colorbox, Pretty Photo, Darkbox, Magnetic Pop-up, and of course we will happy to, if you have more plugin, then you can suggest us. This is one of the preview of, I think this is a Pretty Box, or yeah, I think. So how it work in the backend, we have just keep with the TYPO3 core, like image element, text with image. You just need to click this enlarge click, which is the core feature, and we have used on that, right? You can also decide, like in particular site or in particular page, you want this slider, lightbox for all the images. So yeah, in the constant, it's possible. Yes, you can download and support us. Okay, that's now I'm taking the TYPO3 code review. Basically, it's a lint. Maybe how many people use the lint to automatic code review? Yes, that's good. Yeah. So let me try to because it's very important. If you are the core developer, then always try to avoid the manual code review. Just have the system which can automatically review your code, and you just need to fix it, right? So let's take it one by one. Code review for PHP PSR standards, code review for the TypoScript, for the Fluent templates, for the YML, for the languages XLIFF, and I don't know if in TYPO3 is there any other things there that need to be code review. I think these are the 5 major scripting, right? So imagine your code has been passed with all the steps, like, okay, PHP is great, TypoScript is great, right? So like it's GitLab things, we just integrate, and all the projects are passing in this way, and people happy, okay, we have the standards, and it's really cool. Gitlab-ci, it's just a reference, like you can set into the CI. How many people use the CI for the deployment? Yeah, that's very nice. So you can just define your stages, right? Okay, like PHP, TypoScript. So in each stages, you just need to configure the things, right? I will let you show in the next slide. The error will be something like this. Like for example, it's of the PHP PSR standard. So let's check the one by one. First, the PHP lint. They're actually, these lints are working on CLI mostly, You just need to write the command, and it will check everything as if all the codes are okay or not. So in PHP Lint, we use the PHP code sniffer. That's a good library. And to use it, you just need to write this command like PHP CS, and standard should be PSR2. You can define one file to check the code review, or you can define whole folder by // right? And you can also use this command to avoid the warning, because warning are a bit more in code. You just focus on the error solving. A warning can be ignored, so you can just pass this warning severity 0, and it works. Well, this could be example like what are the errors could be there. Like here is some indentation problem, some namespace declaration problem. So you just need to fix for all your PHP, and yeah. So let's check the TYPO3 Lint. Anyone knows TS Lint? Anyone use it? It's really good. Like you just need to set the TYPO3 Lint. And you need to create one YML file in your root directory called tslint.yml, which includes this kind of code. Like you can define the paths, like, okay, I want to just check the configuration, page tsconfig, and TypoScript only, then you can define it. And you can set the file patterns, because many people use different TypoScript extension, like someone use the TypoScript, someone use the TS. So you can define the file patterns. And this is a command where you can get the errors of the spacing, or something is wrong in your coding style, right? Fluent Lint, to be honest, it's not that much work, but I've talked with the Fluent team. They are working hard, right, to include into the Typo Fluent core with Lint, right? But here it's available with the TYPO3 Fluent. With the Fluent Lint, it's working on the dev master right now. There is not any versioning. So here you can define the path to your template. And I think it's not working for whole folder. You need to pass one by one. That's why I'm saying let's wait for the Fluent 3, and that would be a good. Yeah, this kind of errors could be there, like. Okay, YML Lint. YML is the next thing with the TYPO3 9 and 10. So let's also care about coding guidelines with following the universal standard, right? So for the YML, there is a good library with the Python. You just need to install the Python PIP. And there is a version, latest version 1.10.0 for the YML Lint. So you just need to write this command, YML Lint d and relax. So, and with the dot, so it will find out all the YML files and checking the code, like errors like this. Most of the related to the indentation and some warnings with the document starting and ending, right? XLIFF stuff, we are using it in TYPO3 for the localization. There is also Lint available with Symfony translation. Basically, they are maintaining this XLIFF. You can just install the Symfony translation and write the command if you want to just have the one file, like here the example in the PHP bin console. Lint XLIFF, and you have the one file like called default XLIFF, then it can be passed. And you can also define the whole path of your language where the XLIFF files are there in this way, in the folder. It could be error like this. 2 words. Okay, one good thing is editor config. Anyone knows about this? Okay, that's nice. That's pretty cool, and whenever you are working on the team, then you should have the common, your ID environment, right, to maintain all the code on the same way, right? So there is one site, the editorconfig.org. Mostly people prefer whatever languages you are using. Try to use this to have the common universal standard, right? So like it's maintain consistent coding styles for the multiple developers, have the same coding styles. Just need to set up the .editor config at your root projects. This is one file. I will show you later. And define your personal or your agency or your whatever you feel styles for that. And it's mostly available with all IDE like PHP Storm, Sublime, so you can use it, right? You just need to install this plugin to your IDE. And many IDE have the default available. So this is the like example file for .editor config. You just need to define the rules. Like for example, for the TS, I've written like okay, indent style is space is 2, indent style is space, and indent size is 4. So all the developer have the same working coding, right? So you can define all the file like YML, PHP, JSON, right? Whatever you are working with the files, you can define it. And the next one is to maintain the TYPO3 extension. Like you are developing extension for the TR, for the TYPO3 community, or either you are developing the projects for your private, like customers. So what could be the good way to publish and maintain, right, after development? Yes, that's a famous quote from the GmbH, like app store is our called TR. So let's try to make it maintained well, right, with all the standards to make community well. So what could be the tools and techniques? We prefer you should use Git. Of course, everyone use it, right? but at least with the GitHub or GitLab and other things. Composer, that's going to be new default standard for the development. So yes, use the Composer. Packages, for the open source project you can use the org, and for the private project you can use the .com packages.com. That proper versioning, it's very important to keep. I will explain it in detail. Automatic deployment to TR to save your time. You can think about it how to deploy a particular extension to a TR, right, to save the time. And code review, that's must. Code review with the, as I said, with the lint or with the senior guys to check if the code are good or not, right? So first of all, prepare your extensions for the Composer. Composer, everyone knows, right? Oh, really? Yeah, I think a lot of sessions already done with the Composer. I don't want to go in depth. So it's most useful for the installations and upgrade for your extension, as well as core, of course, TYPO3 core. So you just need to put composer.json to your root, right? And TYPO3 community appeals. I know people said, okay, let's keep use the composer.json for all the projects, for all the extension. So that's nice practice. This is the revolutionary line composer require. And this is a sample format how the TYPO3 have to set up configuration, like there is a require TYPO3 CMS core, autoload, and all the stuff, right? Git Survey. How many people use the GitHub? Oh, many. And GitLab? That's many. Both, right? And others are too less, right? So I can focus on that part. Okay, code versioning with the GitHub lab or right. First of all, you need to create repository. It's very simple. You just go to log into the particular site and just create it, and clone to your repository. Just connect with your local environment, right? So these are the commands. Just set up the Git, right? To set up the Composer, you need to go to this packages.org for the open source projects, for the community project. So once you log in, there will be a button called Submit. Just go there and submit your URL of GitHub or GitLab, and just check it. And then go to your account, a profile setting. There will be a API token which is useful to communicate between Git and packages for the composer, right? For example, at GitHub, when to your repository, go to the settings and webhooks, then you will add to this secret the stack box with that API token, right? And in GitLab, there is settings. Go to the settings and integration. That there is a token field over there, and set the server as a packages.org. So it will be communicated whenever you are doing something on Git. It will give the data to here, like in push request or merge request, you can decide it. So whenever something is happened in GitHub or GitLab, it will inform to the packages that this is a new version or something like that. I've seen in many projects, people don't care the versioning, right? Versioning is really important to communicate with the other guys, right? So the basic thing like semantic, globally, universally, it's useful. It's saying like the standard of defining versioning, like major, minor, and patch. So major version, when you make incompatible API changes, when you are going to make major changes, then set your extension to like for 1.0 to 0, then 3.0 to 0, right? In minor version, you just add the whenever you are doing something related to backward compatibility, then you set the minor version. The patch version, you just doing the bug fixing only, then okay, you just set the patch version. So that's like whenever you are going to upload your extension to TR or somewhere, then just take care, like, so people can understand, okay, this is the minor version or this is the major version, this is just a patch version, so they can upgrade or not, they can decide it well, right? You can get more information at this site, samber.org, to know about this. So at which places we are using versioning? First is obviously ext emconf. The second one is take care whenever you are releasing your extension to Git, like in here is the GitHub. So it should be same, because many times I say here is a 2.00 and sorry 2.50, and in Git it's sometimes 2.0. So it's misunderstand the people, like, okay, which is the latest one, right? So that's why. And you can see the same effect will be on your composer packages. So it's if you are connecting with the GitHub, it's of course automatically get it. One more interesting, like dependency management dependencies. Always try to put actual version of your whenever you are set the dependency of your extension. Like I'm developing news extension, a comment extension for the news, then I always try to care the news compatible. Okay, you really need to use particular version, then my extension will work, right? So you need to define at the emconf as well as the composer, because many people use the composer, so that's get the same version, right? Publish extension to TR. I'm going to present what could be the best way to publish your extension to extension.typo3.org. There are three ways. First is, of course, simple, directly publish to typo3.org. There is second one. There is good solution. One person is nameless coder. It's name identity. He develop and release service. We will check in detail. And third option can be you can automatically publish your extension through Git CI, maybe GitHub or GitLab, right? It's very simple. Go to the my extension, register your extension, and upload it. It's work well, right? Here is there is one site, release.namelesscoder.net. You just need to go to settings and webhooks and just define your there is a username password, but don't worry. He said it's secure. It will be not secure, so that's fine. And choose type secret as a type of rocks. That's the default. So what happened after adding this? Whenever you are creating new release, it will go to the, it will automatically publish your extension to typo3.org. So you don't need to manually go to the typo3.org and publish it, right? So you just need to focus on work and just release, so it works. There is an option for the Git. I have just taken the example of GitLab, but you can also do for the GitHub. In gitlab-ci, you can prepare the script to publish your extension to from your GitHub to TR, right? So how it works? You just need to follow this, set the stages like upload. I've set it, and in the TR upload you can define the script like basically it's use the same nameless coder TYPO3 repository client. So it's just installed that library, and if there is a condition if checking if there is a new release is there, then it will go to the publishing. Like you can see the last few lines uploading release to this TR, and the last command it will be upload. So yeah, this is the GitLab, and for the GitHub, everyone knows the Travis. Everyone use the Travis? Yeah, that's good. Travis is an open source projects, and they provide the facility to automatically deploy the projects, your extension to your particular location, right? So go to the travis.org. I'm not mentioning it, but yeah, you can just set up the account and create a travis.yml to your project, to your extension at GitHub, right? And it's almost the same code with little bit different structure compared to GitLab, but yeah. Use the same, yeah, here use a different, with, I think, Helmut TR client, yeah. But you can use the same nameless, and that's fine. So this is a good, nice way to publish your extension to TR, right, without hesitate and care about manual uploading. This is the last, it's very general thing like checklist for ideal extension development. Always use, try to use the Docker detail because you know the power. There are many sessions already there, so you can check it. Use PHP Storm. There are very good features available to work on your customer on the extensions. Always use the Git as we discussed, and you set the versioning also, so it will be helpful to maintain your code, right? Use a composer. That's a good way for the future maintenance to install and upgrade your things. Always do the code review with, as I said, the lints or with the senior programmer to check the code, right? Use the Git CI for deployment. It's not about just TR, but you can set up the things for your private projects instead of doing FTP or whatever. But just go with the Git CI, so it will save your time and to maintain it easily. Of course, follow the type of recording guidelines to make sure future are secure with upgrading instead of hesitate with the deprecation, right? And last important, always check the performance of your particular projects and extension. Sure, it works very well, right? I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. So any questions, let me know. Thank you. We are a bit early, but that's fine. Anyone have a question? Oh. I hope I can give the answer.
If you use the maintenance extension to display the maintenance screen, what kind of status code do you return for visitors to the web page? Is it a 200 or is it a 503?
It's a 200 because it's not error, but what we are doing with overriding the existing, you can imagine it's like a theme. Right, just overriding another theme, so we get the type num same and displaying that maintenance screen, right?
Yes, but the problem with this is if you return code 200, Google might just pick this up and put it into the index. If you return a 503 code, you can still display the page, but Google will not update the index. It will just wait until code 200 reappears.
Right. That's a nice suggestion.
Whenever you take a website temporarily offline, you should reply with the code 503, or in your extension, just make an option that you can choose what code you want to return.
Right, right. Yeah, I will definitely take a look. Like it should be 503. But that's a nice suggestion. Thank you. We have enough time.
Hi.
Yes.
You were talking about this linting of PHP, TypoScript. Test. So do you are you doing this only on the CI level or also locally?
Yeah, locally it's possible. Mostly developers prefer, okay, let's do the local, then because otherwise you will get a lot of pipeline friend.
Do you have some one script which run all the lints, or developer needs to run the linting for TypoScript, and I will run lint for Fluid? Yeah, how do you do it?
Yeah, in your local project, you can use the CLI. Like in your command line, just install the composer and all the stuff. It will be the same as a CI.
Oh. So it's one command on you run on your local?
Yes.
Can you show this somehow on code?
It's actually just a presentation, Mac. But your question is that it's possible with a local development to check the lint, right?
No, it's possible. In my installation, I have Git hooks, and if developer is doing local commit, then I'm doing linting locally before it's going to CI. I'm just thinking, how do you do it locally? If this is also a hook on Git, or some kind of script is run?
Basically, we are using the GitLab-ci, right? So whenever you are pushing something, there is a pipe drive which automatically run, and it says, okay, it's failed or passed, right?
So it's after, so...
Yeah, after.
Yeah, so it's kind of lost, for me it's lost of time, because pipeline is running,
right.
Developer is waiting, and he sees errors.
Right. What in our agency, we first check the locally, like, okay, developer is doing something, he committed to our local server branch, and I get the code letters and check, okay, it's everything. But lint is the responsibility of the developer. Like, what I suggest, as a leader, you don't need to worry. He need to be passed anyway, right? So in the local, they can test it. Okay, these are the problems. I'm going to fix it. Then going to, commit to the GitLab, right? Whatever you are using. Do you understand? It's more or less responsibility of the developer. So,
for sure, it's a response of the developer. But as CEO, I want to create an environment which is the fastest for developer. Yeah? So he don't need to wait for the pipeline to finish to show his errors. Yes.
Right.
Okay. And the next question also about this editor config. How does it? Because PHP Storm has also built-in PSR2 editor rules. You know, you can choose PSR2, and there is also a shortcut in the PHP Storm to format the code according to the PSR2, which is from PHP Storm. And right now you said that there is this editor config file.
Right.
And how these two are working together.
Mostly if you are using the editor config, almost it should work. At least indentation level problems will be never come, right? If you use the editor config, .editor config, right?
Editor config is overruled the config from the PHP Storm?
I think it will overrule because it's a plugin and it's saying, okay, now I'm handling the things, right?
So do you have some kind of editor config which is compatible with PSR2?
Yeah, I think you can find it that site. There are examples of the PHP and all the things, right? But you definitely get it. I'm not able to give the answer.
So I just wanted to extend that I think there's quite a bit of misunderstanding what editorconfig actually is. Editorconfig is more or less ensures that your file has the correct line feed, so it's not using a control line feed, so also a Linux line feed, ensures that you have the an empty line at the end, and just ensures that you have, well, you're using spaces instead of tabs, and these for every files, not only PHP files. So it's only taking care of HTML files, XLIFF files, TypoScript files, and all that kind of stuff. This is what the editor config file is for. So it's not for...
It's not whole lint, right?
It's
lint
for the
has
whole
the
lint,
different
yes.
things. There are a lot of factors they are taking care, right?
Yes.
Right.
So editor config, even if you have PSR2 applied in your config for your PHP files, well, you will get it after formatting, but editor config is ensuring that if you hit the tab space, for example, that you're inserting as much spaces as defined, for example. So that's really helpful. For the other question, well, as Sanjay just mentioned, I didn't think he spoke it out, but the most of the tools he has shown are actually built into the IDEs that they are using. That means most of the linting stuff already is being done on the machines already before it's hitting the JIT anyways. Another solution for that would be we're using custom composer commands, so we get a command and just say composer test, and this is then running our linting on the local machine, but we're also not using git commit pre-commit hooks because this is, they're doing a lot of more tests than just linting.
It's just final confirmation. Okay, it's great, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, because developers sometimes ignore, okay, I'm a bit frustrated with setup, right? But as a project quality, let's implement it. So as we are sure, okay, in production we have the perfect code, right? Yes, but you are right. It's already available in the IDE, so use it, right?
Okay, more questions? Doesn't look like. So then, thank you again for your great talk.
Thank you.
And
thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So, as always, don't forget to vote for this talk, how you liked it, and have a great lunchtime.
Green?